the Commons Apartments on Middleton Road, just near MLK Drive. Officers and crime scene tape really covered the scene there, where you would normally see children playing on the grass and bounce houses that were actually deflated when our crews got to the scene. We spoke with neighbors who say, sadly, the violence in this area is all too common.
It's kind of like music around here. You know, it's normal. It's just normal to hear gunshots. But not on a day, a holiday where you got all these kids out here. You got the bouncers houses over there.
The violence got to stop, man. Everybody cool. I just want everybody to go home to their family safely.
Well, Atlanta police say that the woman was alert and breathing when officers found her, but they've not shared her condition since that time. Of course, another major story making headlines this weekend is what happened on Lake Lanier, that massive explosion. 7 people, including children, are now recovering from severe burns after the boat that they were on exploded. Our Atlanta News First photographer heard the bang on Lake Lanier, and Atlanta News First reporter Lonnie Latang spoke with people who saw it happen.
Oh, they got burnt. Oh, they did.
His leg. They got burnt, huh?
A 4th of July boat ride on Lake Lanier turned into a fiery tragedy. Child after adult being carried away with visible burns across their bodies. Hall County Fire says a boat they had been on erupted into 5-foot flames near the Margaritaville area of Lake Lanier Islands in Beaufort.
We saw the whole boat exploded on fire, and it's so close to us where all the other boats were parked. It's not like it was in the middle of the lake. It was completely exploded.
The Department of Natural Resources says the boat was being towed when it suddenly exploded with 7 people on board. The tow operator rescuing all of them. People nearby describing the horrifying aftermath.
On their legs, on their arms.
All of it. Arms, chest, legs, they were all burnt. And they were, the skin was pink. Terrible. It was a terrible sight, and just so sad to see those kids in so much pain.
Officials say the survivors suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns. They range in ages from just 5 years old to 45 years old. Officials say they all went to the hospital, but even so, witnesses say it was hard to watch them leave.
They were crying, screaming.
As a parent, what's your thought?
Horrible, horrible. It was so just horrible.
I'm Alani Latang, Atlanta News First.
And in our nation's capital, our nation's youth taking over the National Mall in Washington, D.C. for this year's Folklife Festival. Atlanta News First Washington correspondent Ryan Henson speaks with a group of students riding in style this weekend.
The Folklife Festival always brings a slice of Americana to the nation's capital.
It really does feel like family. Like, this feels like a car show, except we're in Washington, D.C., in between the Capitol building and the Washington Monument.
This year, the focus is on the next generation, the youth. Why elevate youth voices? It's about galvanizing their energy to make sure they inherit a prosperous future. Island Cuomo Wilkerson just graduated from high school in Kansas, where he's been a part of the Olathe Leadership Lowrider Club. The group uses the skills learned to customize bike that students get to keep after graduation. The team from Kansas is mastering how to work with his hands.
I'm doing all the body work, getting the crevices, making sure everything looks all smooth and pretty.
But he's learning even more about himself.
I found myself throughout high school kind of like balling up a little bit, like not getting out of my comfort zone.
And his community.
We partner with the Olathe Police Department a lot, and before this, I had never had any negative run-ins with the police, but, I didn't exactly have a positive relationship with the idea of a police officer, and this has, really opened my mind to the fact that they're just people, and they're awesome people.
When you scrape everything away, it's a mentor program, and it's a way to present consistency and friendship and build community.
Sergeant Logan Bonney volunteers with the after-school program. He helps turn bike kits into rides worth thousands of dollars. But for him, It's about making sure kids ride into life on the wheels of success.
We've had a couple hundred kids come through our program, and they've all gone on to different vocations and college. One of the big things we try to do is help them get scholarships so that they can go on and hopefully potentially change their trajectory.
From the Folklife Festival in Washington, D.C., I'm Ryan Henson.
Consumer investigator Better Call Harry has a warning. The Better Business Bureau says it's getting a lot of complaints about a website promising to speed up your passport application. But Harry says you might want to take a closer look.
The BBB says its scam tracker has 78 reports about a website called uspassportandvisa.org. The BBB alleges that the site claims to make your immigration process easier for $88. The website is patriotic. It's red, white, and blue, but this is not a government website. There's a little disclaimer at the top that says it's privately owned and not associated with any government agency. However, if you click on Apply for a U.S. Passport Now, it takes you to another page with 3 options for new, renewal, and lost passports. It's July 4th, so listen up, America. If you click on that, you are providing sensitive personal information, including your social, to a company you know nothing about. And oh yeah, they want your credit card information. And we love the agreement at the bottom, where the site admits that by checking this box, you are authorizing them to use the information provided on this form to generate a pre-filled passport form. You know where else you can fill out an application for free? The U.S. Department of State. And if you type in your zip code, it will show you a list of places that will accept your application and take your photo. So here's our advice. Go directly to the State Department's website and fill out the application there. Next, make an appointment online. I made one at the Fulton County Government Building, and I went straight to the front of the line. There's one major catch. There are 2 payments, a $35 processing fee and a separate payment to the U.S. Department of State. That payment has to be a check or a money order, no exceptions. And if you aren't sure about a website, you can type it into the BBB scam tracker to look for reports. I'm Better Call Harry. Atlanta News First investigates.
And look at this. The billion-year-old meteorite that landed in North Georgia will soon be on display. Atlanta News First reporter Sarah Hammond went to Cartersville to hold it in her hands.
So many people captured this meteorite falling from the sky on their cell phones last week, but now we're getting a look at it here on the ground at TELUS Science Museum.
I heard a really, really long, thunderous explosion.
A sonic boom, the equivalent of 20 tons of TNT, shook Metro Atlanta. What looked like a fireball in the sky hit the earth as an estimated 3-foot meteorite split in multiple fragments.
So we have a pretty close relationship with the Meteorite Association of Georgia.
And Carissa Zdanky now has a piece in her hand at TELUS Science Museum.
The fact that I'm now holding it, it's just like, oh, okay.
This fragment was found by a meteorite hunter who got in touch with the museum, and now they're adding what created such a stir into their collection.
So while meteors themselves are not uncommon, one during the day that is so big that so many people are able to see is a lot rarer.
It doesn't quite look like something you would think.
Rebecca Melsheimer, curatorial coordinator at the museum, says this is what is known as a stony meteorite, a type that is billions of years old.
It is the material that was from the very beginning in the solar system. So if we study these, we can learn about what the environment was like and how they were forming and how the planets formed.
And Melsheimer says knowing people who watch this streak across the sky will have the chance to see it here at the museum is a very cool feeling.
It's really exciting for us to be able to see something like this. Like this was in space on, Thursday morning, and now it's here and I can hold it in my hand. It's just amazing.
And leaders here at the museum say this will likely be out on display for you to come see by the end of the summer. In Cartersville, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
And more on this and all the top stories on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and our free mobile news app. Now back to Local News Live.